Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. My name is Zuka and today I will explain you how to hold a baneling bust in PvZ. It can be very tricky, especially if you are below the Master League. It's hard to scout, it's hard to counter, and I will explain you how to do both. Don't forget that I do a weekly content about StarCraft 2 in English, so if you like what I do, you can subscribe to my channel and you can ring the bell. And now let's go to the game. This game comes from my ladder. I'm the blue protoss at the top left corner and there is a red zerg at the bottom right corner. We'll go in my vision and I will explain you how I scout a baneling bust and how I react. So we will begin with a pylon in the wall. So in front of the natural like this. It's really important to do a wall against the zerg and especially against something like a baneling bust. This is the reason of the wall. Mazerling or baneling bust or roach. This is the exact reason of the wall in front of the natural. So this guy is talking a little bit too much. To be honest, when someone talk too much, it's probably a cheese. Yeah, probably a cheese. So I will scout him, and there is something really important here. As you can see, there is an hatchery, so it can be an hatch first. It's an hatch first, but this timing is really early in the game. Usually, the hatch first is around 50 seconds, and if you check carefully, it's more like 40 seconds here. So it's probably something like a really fast hatchery. Okay, and the timing for the spawning pool is around 1 minute and 15 seconds. Something earlier than that is probably cheesy or all in. It's something like this. So here it's really early, really early, and I will check. And as you can see, the gas is almost finished, and before the 1 minute mark, the spawning pool is already here. And if you watch carefully, you can see that is only at 12 supply. So this is simply something like a 14-14. It's a 14-14, which is really cheesy, really aggressive. It's similar to someone who will open with a spawning pool gas, so something which looks like baneling bust or roach. So to be honest, when you play against this kind of opening, it's probably something like a roach or a baneling bust, but he's trying to hide it with timings simply. So to be honest, here I'm pretty sure that it's something really aggressive. It can be a Mazerling too. It can be a Mazerling. It can be a baneling bust. It can be a roach. Okay. So I will try to scout again, as you can see. So in this case, you should open with cybernetic before the Nexus, because it can be very aggressive. So as you can see, he's trying to talk with me. So I will scout again. And what is really important to scout here is the amount of or lava available. So as you can see here, is he has 3 larvae. And it will use them as soon as the spawning pool is finished. So in this case, it's 6 zerglings, simply 6 zerglings. This is yes, this is simply 6 zerglings. So as you can see, I check, yeah, spawning pool, and yeah, 6 zerglings. So here I do my zealot. Really important to do a zealot in this case. If you play against something like pool hatch, pool hatch. You can do sometimes adept first. You are not forced to do this zealot, but in this case, you need the zealot. You simply need the zealot because it's similar to something like a 12 pool or something like this. So I do my zealot, I take my expand, and I will of course try to do a full wall. I will keep my probes in front of his base to check how many zerglings are done. It's really important to check this kind of things. So as you can see, the baneling nest is done at 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So timings for baneling nest or roach warren is around 2 minutes and 10 seconds in most of all-ins. But as you can see here, is doing it a little bit before this timing, and it's really hard to scout it. It's really hard. So now you will simply do a mass zerglings. So as you can see here, I saw 2 zerglings, more zerglings coming. Okay, so here I will do my full wall. Of course, second unit is an adept. You need this adept to counter this amount of zerglings. So here for me, it's simply a zerglings. I don't know that it's a baneling nest, baneling bus. It can be a zerglings. Some players will simply play with this. So I will do something which will hold baneling, which will hold roach, which will hold zerglings. Simply. This build all of this. It's really more tricky against a roach win, but to be honest, with this amount of zerglings, it's probably not a fast roach. And as you can see, he's going this way. So this is really important. When he will do some banelings, he will try to do them somewhere where you can't see them. So here, this is probably here. If you see some zerglings here, which are not trying to attack your wall, baneling. The other way to scout it is simply to send this probe directly to his base, but sometimes it can be very tricky to do it. So here, I was pretty sure that it was zerglings or baneling nest. So I was like, yes, I will just try to count the number of zerglings. So here I do another unit, another adept. So here I try to not lose my my probe, and he keep his zerglings here. So here I will just go this way and check again with my probe. You will see that I will check again. Yeah, I will try to understand what he's doing. So here he's doing a baneling burst. He's simply doing a baneling burst. So what you need to do is really easy. Try to full wall this. I will full wall this with this probe, with something with a lot of life. So you can do, of course, you can do shield battery, which is not very useful. Pylon is probably better, but what is really good to do is a cybernetic. So in this game I didn't make my cybernetic core, but cybernetic core is really good, simply because he has more life than a gateway, as you can see, and his build time is lower than a gateway. So in general, no, not only in general, simply cybernetic core will have more life for defense. So to hold the baneling burst, it's way better to do it, especially if you want to cancel this building after the burst. So here I do a gateway, but cybernetic core will be very more useful. So what is really important here, so I will play with robotic. Robotic, I really like playing with robotic instead of Stargate, simply because you will have more gas for your tech. Here the real problem will be the gas. As you can see, the gas is really important here. And forget that the repair will be in the description if you want to check it carefully. But here, what is really important is to have your wall, to have some units. As you can see, I try to split them a little bit. I will keep one in between this pylon and this shield battery. And if I take a big push, I will put the other one here. So you need to split them because you don't want to lose everything. Okay? So here, what is really important is your wall, simply your wall. It's the most important thing now. Simply the most important thing. So here I add some units, I add another pylon, and as you can see I chrono boost my sentry. I need a sentry, and if you can't do any other units, simply do a zealot. Zealot is better than nothing. So here he's trying to attack me. I will do a little pylon, which will be very good. As you can see, it gives me some time. So here it will try to baneling burst this, and as soon as it baneling bursts your wall, simply use your sentry to wall. Don't forget that in this game the timing was very early in the game, like probably 15 seconds before the standard timing. In most of the game you will have this sentry on time. You will simply have this central time, what is very useful here is the shield battery. The shield battery will save all your units, and don't forget that a baneling burst never ends like this. You will probably make more units. So keep your units in the wall, and don't forget that another baneling burst can come. There is one pylon here which can be used for this gateway and this cybernetic core, and this one cover this gateway and this cybernetic core too. So here He can try to banning bust me again, but to be honest, it will be very hard. He's really low in terms of gas, really low in terms of mineral. It's really tricky for him now. As soon as you hold the first banning bust, you are in a good position. You are simply in a good position. So if you want to be totally safe, you can do another sentry. It will help you a lot. And now you can simply play with something like an immortal push. An immortal push will be just very strong with adept, with zealot, with stalker, and with sentry. You can try to have at least 2 sentry for force fields, and rest of units are not very important. To be honest, if you hold these kind of things, it can't really do anything because it cuts his economy too high. The big problem can be a roach warren with ravagers, but he can't really have them if he did a banning bust. He can't really have them. So here I will just go a little bit faster. I do a warp prism to try to drop, of course, and to try to attack. I will do more gateways. And I add some sentries. Sentries are really useful against banelings, simply against banelings. So here I will try to attack. I have not a lot of units, to be honest. I'm only on soon on 4 gateways, but because my economy is low, it's more than enough. And I didn't lose any units on the banning bust, so I'm totally okay here. So here, of course, I will do a full wall. And I will attack him. As you can see, my supply is so high. It's simply so high. So I will do a little push, and if I want, of course, after this I can try to do an Nexus, a third base. But most of the time you will simply win with this timing because you will have too much. What is really important is to not be circle. Try to not be circle, and this is where sentries are really important. As you can see, he's trying to do it. Yes, he circled me. I simply put two force fields. I have 1 more if I want. I will put it here. I don't lose so many units, and I'm pretty sure that I didn't lose. Yes, I lost like 5 units, and yeah, it's almost nothing. It's simply almost nothing. So I will try to attack the force base. No, there is no force base. He will try to do, as you can see, an Nidus, but it will not be very useful. He has nothing. He has simply nothing. So here I will attack him, and yeah, I attack. He's trying to circle me again, so I do a little bit of micro. So this will really depend of your league. If you are in Master League, you will need to do this kind of things. If you are something like in gold or platinum, you will not really need this. You will simply win with this aiming. So here, what is really important is to go directly in the main base to try to kill as many tech as possible. Of course, it can be, for example, sometimes you will meet Mutalisk. Yes, a Spire with Mutalisk. It's really, it can happen. It will be very strange at this timing, but it can happen. So just attack him. Just attack him. Try to focus the main base, and of course units. Units are the most important thing here. And now it's simply a win. As you can see, he is trying to have a free win. No free win. No free win for you. You did a banning bust. No free win for you. And it's and it will be a win. To be honest, it can be very hard to counter this kind of banning bust. This build can be very strong. It can be very strong. Simply because timings, on some maps timings are hard to counter. For example, on map like Zen, it can be tricky. On map like Everdream, it can be tricky. Yeah, don't forget this. Don't forget this. It's the end of this video. I hope you like it. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comment section below. You can of course subscribe to my channel if you really like what I do, and you can put a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Bye!